Alright, so today is going to be a more serious video. You already see the title, so you already know what we're talking about. And I'm going to try to not let my personal, feelings and emotions overtake the points I'm trying to make here. So today we're talking about false accusations. What is a false accusation for those who don't know? A false accusation, a claim or allegation of wrongdoing that is untrue and or otherwise unsupported by facts. So it's basically a lie. And these false claims can be for pretty much any crime, but it seems like the vast majority of the time when someone is falsely accused, it is usually for rape, sexual assault, or sexual misconduct. And I'm gonna just be real, bro. This shit is getting way out of hand. So y'all remember that female cop that fucked her entire department, right? She was fucking 5 or 6 dudes she worked with. So her name is Megan Hall, right? She worked in Tennessee as a police officer or some shit, and she was fucking 5 other police officers, including her fucking sergeant. And she got a lot of backlash for that shit, probably because, one, she's a fucking whore. I mean, how you fucking 5 niggas you work with? I mean, that's crazy. But then on top of that, she has a husband. So not only was she fucking being a thought, but she cheating on her husband at the same time, right? And I guess all the allegations must have got to her because all of a sudden, this bitch want to say she was sexually groomed. Sexually fucking groomed. We all know that's bullshit. Because not only was she fucking these police officers, but she was fucking their wives too. And she was fucking these niggas anywhere. In the locker rooms, in the police cars, every fucking where. They had all these parties where she would fuck the officers and their fucking wives. But now all of a sudden this bitch was sexually groomed. And it just makes me wonder, why is the automatic go-to anytime a woman gets exposed for some sexual shit, the automatic go-to when it's getting too hard for them is, I was taken advantage of, right? That's always the go-to. These women might do some shit that they're not proud of, or they might regret a sexual decision they made, so they automatically just cry rape. And the reason this is always the go-to, and the reason they know they can do this shit, is because we live in a society where we allow that shit. We allow somebody to go out, have sex with a complete stranger, wake up the next morning and say, you know what? I'm withdrawing consent because I regret it. You raped me. We live in a society where women can do that shit. And there have been countless examples of people who have had false accusations of rape against them. But let's name a few. So there's this one guy named Thomas Kennedy, and he was falsely accused by his own fucking daughter. She was 11 years old at the time, and she accused her dad of sexual assault against her as a child, right? And, they found evidence and they put him in jail, right? So all these years later, it had been at least a decade later, they figured out she was lying. And she said the reason she said that is because her dad was a drinker and a smoker and she wanted him to stop. And also, the reason they found evidence is because in the second grade, she had already started having sex. She was fucking one of her classmates in the second grade. That's where the evidence came from. They found evidence that she was penetrated, but it wasn't by her fucking dad. It was by some fucking 8-year-old. And of course nothing happened to her for lying. He went to jail for over a decade. But fuck that, right? Who cares about that shit, right? Just a decade of his life gone because she lied, right? It's crazier that she lied, but the fact that she was having sex in the second grade, where the fuck was her mother, bro? But another example are these 2 football players from Sacred Heart University in Connecticut. You probably have heard this story before. So they were all at a party. These 2 football players and this girl were in the basement of a house or some shit, and they ran the train on the girl or something, right? And when it was over, she saw the guy she liked at the party. So after getting fucked by these 2 dudes, she didn't want to look like a hoe in front of the guy she liked, so she said they raped her. Because she didn't want to look like a hoe, she said they raped her. Well, 1, you are a hoe. You don't look like one. You are one. You got fucked by 2 dudes back to back. Also, right, it eventually came out that she lied, right? And I'm sure that guy you like doesn't want to be with a fucking liar. But think about all the shit that those players went through. Because not only, they're D1 athletes, by the way. They were kicked off the team, lost their scholarships, and expelled from school and almost went to prison. But she finally confessed. And you know what happened? All they were able to do was re-enroll. But they had to pay now. All those thousands of dollars now they have to pay play, even though it was paid for by their scholarship. And they weren't back on the team or nothing. All that work they put in to become D1 athletes was down the drain because this bitch didn't want to look like a hoe. Or what about these two Ohio State players? Again, a girl fucked the both of them and regretted it. So she said they raped her. And same shit, you already know what happened to them. And there are plenty of other examples, like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, or Chris Brown. Chris Brown fucked some girl and wasn't replying to her text messages, so she claimed he raped her because he wasn't replying to the messages. And I know I just named all those examples, and it might seem like, okay, well, those are just a few examples. That's not a whole lot. There are thousands of men who have gone through similar situations and have been falsely accused of some shit they did not do, but it never gets talked about. You never hear about it. They also don't have the money and the resources like some of these other people to fight it off. So they just get in trouble and that's it. There's an entire subreddit called Ask Men where men tell stories of all the false accusations they faced. And there are hundreds and hundreds of comments telling their stories, right? And if you look through all these stories, all of them got the same reasons. The girl regretted it, or something happened, now she hates the dude and she wants to get revenge and ruin his life, or her friend doesn't like her, or some shit like that. And you can tell that these women know exactly what the fuck they're doing. That's why they always go straight to rape. Oh, he raped me, or he hit me, because they know what can happen. They know how that destroys a man's life, but they never get in trouble for that shit. And I just find it so funny how like literally no one cares. It's like only men are the ones who talk about this shit. Only men on shit like YouTube and shit like that. You don't hear men in the mainstream ever talk about false accusations, how it ruins people's lives. We're all the fucking feminists who talk about all this shit about equality. It don't seem pretty equal that one gender can just straight up lie on the other because they regret some shit or they're mad. That's fucking stupid. But I think the truly worst part about all this shit is that it ruins it for the genuine victims of rape. Because I'm not gonna lie, when a woman says she got raped, I don't really believe her. She gotta have proof now. I'm not gonna automatically just believe somebody because too many motherfuckers be lying. Too many people just straight up lie for some type of weird ass reason, just for some shit like revenge or I regretted it, so now I'm gonna take back consent. Not the real victims of rape. They're less likely to be believed. Like, this isn't just something that affects men. It affects both men and women negatively. But until we change how we operate with this shit, it'll just keep going. I mean, I personally think that if a woman lies and falsely accuses a man of rape or DV or whatever, she should get the exact amount of prison time he would have gotten. We should ruin that bitch's life for attempting to ruin this man's life with a fucking lie. Then that'll stop all the false accusations. When there's punishment for it, motherfuckers will stop doing it. But the problem is, we just let these bitches go on and on and on with their fucking lies. There's something that needs to be done about this shit, bro. Like, it's really just getting ridiculous at this point. How many bitches just pull it out their ass as soon as they get into some trouble? But let me know how you feel about this shit down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit it with a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Turn on post notifications, share this video. On our road to 750 subscribers. Like and sub us so we can get there. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you to everybody that's been subscribing. And I'm out though. Catch you guys next time.